Hello and welcome to Campanelli Stadium for the Super 8 final between Braintree and St. John's Prep, the winner-take-all game here in Game 2 of the Super 8 final. Mike Wassel here for BCAM TV, here alongside Genevieve Bergoli as Braintree gets set here today to take on St. John's, and Braintree will send their ace in Scott Creedon to the mound, facing St. John's for the second time this postseason, the first time through a complete game, and Braintree won that game 10-4. That was at St. John's Prep in Danvers, and this one will be here today in Brockton at Campanelli Stadium. So Braintree and St. John's Prep both in the winner's bracket. St. John's Prep has had to win 5 straight games since losing to Braintree in the opening game, and Braintree's only loss came in the last one to St. John's Prep. So the Womps looking to win back-to-back titles here with the victory today, and looking to finish off a thriller season after what looked like a poor start at 5-4, and Braintree really turned it around. Winners of 13 in a row before the loss against St. John's Prep. We'll have the player introduction and the top of the first right after this. Welcome back to Campanelli Stadium, top of the first inning. Braintree is the home team here today, so it'll be St. John's batting first. It'll be Aaron leading things off, and the first pitch of the game is a line drive into left field for a base hit. First pitch he sees, he lines into left field. So a good start for the Eagles, as Francoeur and Yaron will follow. The leadoff runner is aboard here in the Super 8 final of the championship. So St. John's won last game 11-2, and a curveball is in there, and it's a ball. Looked like a good pitch. The umpire flinching behind the plate, but not bringing up the right arm for a strike. 1-0 pitch is another breaking ball, and it's out of the zone. Vanelli holding on the runner at first. And a check on over, and Aaron is back safely. Pretty close play. That is something that Creedon likes to do. Periodically through the game, he'll attempt to throw a pickoff. Pretty much everybody on the staff, as that one's fouled off the mask of the umpire behind the plate. No change in the Braintree defense. With Creedon pitching, it'll be Andrews at short, so it'll be DiMartino at third, Andrews at short, Fripp at second, and Vanelli at first, as that ball is grounded foul at third, and now a 2-2 count. Out in the outfield, Kennedy in left, McDonald in center, and Files in right, as Baker does the catching for Creedon. 2-2 the count, here with a runner at first and nobody out, top of the first inning. Creedon looking for his first out, and there it is, right there on the corner. He got Francoeur looking. So Creedon picking up his first strikeout of the game. He had 7 against St. John's in the opening game. A check on over at first, and that was a relatively close play, as Aaron has tried to get a good-sized lead at first. 1-on-1 down here in the top of the first, and it brings in Yaron, the third baseman, as that one's down low. So Braintree electing to be the home team here today, based on the fact that they were the top part of the winner's bracket before losing last game, and that one on the corner for a strike. So Creedon has pretty much featured a little bit of everything here in the first. He's been able to locate not only his fastball, but his off-speed pitches, which is a good sign for any pitcher, trying to locate every pitch early. That one's fouled off the mitt, and it's 1-2. Aaron standing at first. He lined the first pitch into left field. Francoeur struck out, and now Creedon ahead 1-2 here to Yaron. And that pitch is a ground ball to first, but it's foul. Braintree at double play depth. Creedon with 1K to this point here in the first, as he gets back into the stretch. And again, the 1-2 pitch. It swung on and missed. He struck him out. Back-to-back Ks here for Creedon as he elevated and got him to chase. Second time that Creedon has faced the Eagles here in this postseason. He's 1-0. Went the distance in that one. 2-0 overall in the Super 8. both complete games with the win over St. John's Prep and Xaverian. That one right there in the corner for a strike as the cleanup hitter. Yish takes a called strike on the corner. Aaron still at first, but now with 2 down, and a ground ball to first. Vanelli able to knock it down, and he'll win the race to the bag to end the inning. So Vanelli did a nice job staying down with it on a hard hit ball, and Creedon able to work around the leadoff single as Braintree will come up to bat. No score here at Campanelli Stadium. Bottom of the first inning, no score. As Braintree comes up to bat, it'll be McDonald leading things off against Powicki, and the first pitch of the game is on the outside corner for a strike. McDonald, Files, and Kennedy 1, 2, and 3 here in the inning as that pitch is outside for ball 1. One pitch and a hard hit ball towards second, and an easy play for the opening out. McDonald grounding out to second base as Files nearly was hit. He had to spin out of the way. Takes that one inside for ball 1. Ground ball hit to third. The long throw, and it's going to be across. Did it take him off the bag? I think it did. Oh, held the foot on. No argument from Cam Fox there at first base. Pretty close play. The foot came off very quickly of the bag, but the out is made at first. 2 quick outs. So that'll bring up Kennedy. First 2 retired very quickly, and he'll take a pitch in there for a strike. So the Eagles had 1 hit back in the top half of the first. It was stranded at first after Creedon got out of it with 2 Ks and a ground out to first. That one in fair territory as Aaron comes out and fires down to first to retire Kennedy. So 3 ground outs in the inning as we head to the second. No score. Top of the second inning, no score. McGinnis, Diorio, and Salima expected for St. John's Prep. First pitch from Creedon is going to be a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. McGinnis, the left fielder, down the count 0-1. Now it's even at 1-1. 2 Ks in the first for Creedon after a leadoff hit. And that one, a good fastball. It's fouled back to the screen. Creedon has done a good job in the first inning, plus getting ahead of the hitters. And now let's see if he can gather his 3rd strikeout. 1-2 pitch and barely fouled off at the plate. Well ahead of that. Again, the 1-2 and a ground ball to third. DiMartino a step back, and the throw across in plenty of time for the first out. Second ground ball out, induced by Creedon here in the game. Haven't seen many balls hit up in the air to this point. So the right fielder Diorio stepping in. First pitch to him is at the knees for a strike. That's going to be a good spot for Creedon to live on. Right there on the outside corner, right at the knees. Be a tough pitch to hit as that one's foul of third, and again ahead 0-2. Creedon not wasting time on the mound, getting back onto the rubber, working really quickly. 0-2 pitch, and that one hit down the right field line, but well foul. Again, the 0-2 pitch, and that one up in the zone. He didn't chase it. Good waste pitch there. Ahead in the count, 0-2. See if he stays with the gas or if he tries to get us something to chase. 1-2 pitch, right back to the gas, and that one is going to be a foul ball. One-two pitch, and he got him to swing and miss. So Diorio down on strikes, the third K for Creedon, and that one seemed to be something off speed, maybe a changeup. So 2 quick outs here in the second. Brings up Salima, who had 2 home runs last game, and the first pitch he faces is fouled. Oh, 1 pitch, and that one is up high. So let's see how careful Braintree will be with Salima with nobody on. He's really been the most dangerous hitter for this team, as that one is fouled off towards left field. DiMartino giving chase and goes in the dive and almost comes up with it. A great attempt for DiMartino. And he'll get up a little bit slow, but you got to really appreciate that effort from DiMartino, putting it all on the line here in the Super 8 final, and that's the kind of effort he's given all season. Certainly appreciate that if you Creedon as well, trying to get him out of the inning with a foul ball. So Creedon showing good sportsmanship as he gives a little bit extra time to DiMartino at third. Ahead in the count, 1-2, and the pitch is hit up in the air a mile high. McDonald coming in, and he got it! So McDonald, who had to come all the way in from center field, probably would have been an easier play for Fripp coming out, but I think he lost it in the sun. And McDonald able to go into the late lunge to put it away as Salima is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Creedon out in the mound as Braintree comes to bat. No score. Bottom of the second inning here at Campanelli Stadium in the finals of the Super 8 as Casey takes that one inside. So Casey, Baker, and Vanelli expected here in the inning for Braintree, looking for the first hit and base runner of the game. They went in order in the first as that one's on the corner, 1-1. Powicki back into the stretch and delivers a pitch outside. So we'll see what kind of strategy the Eagles will employ in this one. They've gone with that 2-2-2-1 formation out of the pen pretty much the last, 4 or 5 games ever since Braintree beat them. And this is the second inning of work for Powicki, so we'll have to see how this one turns out. A big swing and a miss from Casey as he was ahead 3-1. Now it's full. So Casey moving up into the cleanup spot. And the 3-2 pitch as he looks to get on board. He fouls this one right off. Good at bat here for Casey to begin the bottom of the second. Three-two pitch and another ball fouled right off. So Casey spoiling some good pitches from Powicki, making him throw some tough pitches here to begin the inning. Let's see if he can work a walk. 3-2 pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. He threw an off-speed pitch and was able to freeze Casey. First strikeout for Powicki, and that one comes to Casey. Brings up Baker, and Baker has been very hot with the bat. Looking to start things for the Braintree offense. Nobody on, one down. Here in the bottom of the second. The 1-0 pitch to Baker and a swing and a miss. Wamps looking for the first base runner of the game as Baker able to flail that one towards center. It's going to be a tough play, and it is caught by Spada, who was able to grab that one. That one looked to be trouble from the get-go, and it was, but he was able to make the catch. So Spada robbing the hit there from Baker, and now Vanelli down in the count 0-1. So Kowicki has retired the first 5 as that one's down low to Vanelli. So that does bring up the interesting question. If he does get Braintree in order again, he'd retire the first 6. You would have to think that they would try and stay with him, even though they've gone with that every 2 innings a new pitcher. That might work in Braintree's favor if he does retire the first 6. 2-1 pitch to Vanelli is way down low, and it's 3-1. Second time that Braintree has been ahead 3-1 in the count here in the inning, and that one's down low for ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Vanelli, and we'll see how early Braintree will go into the bench here for a pinch runner. A stolen base in this spot would be so big. 2 down in the inning, and that would only make a single potentially score a run. But for the time being, it'll be Vanelli running at first base as he reached on a walk, and the first pitch to DiMartino was a swing and a miss. Might have got a piece of that, but it was held onto by the catcher anyway. 0-1 the count to DiMartino, batting 7th in the Braintree order. And the pitch is fouled right off the screen. Creedon waiting for a chant on deck. Two outs here in the bottom of the second. Braintree with the first runner on, as Vanelli leading at first, and that one well out of the zone. One-two pitch, and it's spoiled. Good swing there from DiMartino, able to foul that one off on a pitch that was a tough one to hit. That was curving away from him. Then the 1-2 pitch on the way to DiMartino, and he struck him out. Second strikeout of the inning as Braintree leaves their first runner on at first base. We'll head to the third, still no score. Top of the third inning here at Campanelli Stadium, still no score. And the first pitch is a fly ball out to right. And now it'll be Fripp a few steps back onto the grass, and he'll put it away as that one hung up a long time. So LaRiviere swinging at the first pitch, and he's down. So 8, 9, and 1 in the order for St. John's Prep here in the inning. The number 8 hitter retired on one pitch, and it'll bring up Spada. And on his first pitch, he fouls this one off, and that'll reach foul territory. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. So Creedon looking for another 1-2-3 inning. He's got the first out, now he's ahead 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch is outside for ball 1. One-two pitch on the way as Creedon gets ready on the mound. And it delivers a pitch. It's right there, strike 3. He's got him looking. That's 4 strikeouts now for Creedon. That's the second time he's got a Eagle batter looking. So Spada down again. He has really struggled in the series. 2 very quick outs here in the third as we go back to the top of the order for the second time for Aaron, who has the only hit of the game. So now nobody on base with 2 down here in the top of the third. And the 1-0 pitch on the way to Aaron. The catcher for the Eagles takes his pitch in there for a strike. Creedon has been pretty much lights out through this postseason run, and he looks to continue for one further game, and that would be here today. If he's able to post another great game, it would certainly put Braintree a chance to win here today and pretty much solidify his chance for the Super 8 MVP. That one just inside, pretty close pitch, 3-1. Pitch to Aaron, and it's right there in the corner for strike 2. It's full. Aaron thought that one might be outside. He was getting ready to throw his bat and thought otherwise. 3-2. Nobody on, 2 down, and the pitch is a fly ball out towards left field. As Kennedy comes in, he'll make the play easily as he loses his hat, but no problem, and he puts it away for another easy inning for Creedon. He's now retired 8 in a row after the leadoff hit from Aaron's, and Braintree will head to bat. Tie game at 0. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Creedon taking a pitch, and it's outside from the new pitcher, Chris Murphy. So, head coach Dan Letarte staying with the strategy that's gotten here, and he'll stay with a new pitcher. So Murphy delivers his first strike since coming on. Braintree didn't have a hit off of Powicki. They had a runner on with a walk, but nothing more, so might be a good thing for Braintree as this one is hit well out towards right field, but it is playable, and it's caught. Ball really not traveling much here in this game. It's hung up there a long time on every ball that's been up in the air. So probably the best hit ball of the game for Braintree to this point as Creedon flies out to right. First pitch to Andrews, batting the number 9 spot, playing short with Creedon on the mound. And that one is outside for ball 2. So second pitcher of the game, as that one's outside, it's 3-0. Andrews has really done a nice job this postseason getting on base in his limited chances. A 3-0 pitch, and that one not even close for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to the number 9 man, that's going to drive a coach crazy. Andrews is a good hitter, but pretty head-scratching to see a 4-pitch walk down to the number 9 hitter in an order. And it brings up the ever-dangerous McDonald. His first time up, he grounded out to second, and that's now 5 straight balls thrown. So Murphy coming out of the pen. Gets the Braintree fans as well as the team into the game, and he's missed again. Oh, late call. The umpire looking like that was a ball, but he decides to call it a strike and a base hit. Andrews will tag second, and that's where he'll stay on the first hit of the game for Braintree, and that's a 1-out single from McDonald. So Murphy coming on was able to retire Creedon, but that was a well-hit ball to right. Walked the hitter, and now he's given up a base hit. So we'll see if Braintree can capitalize on obviously what's been the strategy that's worked for the Eagles here in this postseason, but it is a rather head-scratching move based on the fact that they've had 3 days of rest, and if Powicki was ready, probably could have gone longer. So Braintree starting to get something going here in the bottom of the 3rd, looking to get on the board. 2 runners on, and that brings up Files. Grounded out to third base his first time, looking to come up with a base hit. And a big swing and a miss. Files right up there with the top RBI producers on this Braintree team. Ground ball towards second base is not hit hard. McDonald is tagged, and the throw across is in time for the double play. So McDonald trying to elude the play. Instead, it turns into a double play on a weak ground ball to second, and Braintree not able to score on what looked to be a promising inning. Heads to the 4th inning here at Campanelli Stadium in the Super 8 Finals. No score. Top of the fourth inning, Creedon back out there. First pitch is a pop-up. Baker's going to give chase. Is he going to have a play as it heads over towards the screen, and he can't make the play. A good effort there from Baker. Not sure what the St. John's Prep Eagles are doing there after the great effort from Baker. Trying to give him an earful. Should be applauding the effort and trying to save him from going over the fence. Instead, the umpire gives him a warning. It's been a very raucous bunch on that bench. These two teams don't like each other. Brantree's had the better of the two teams. And that one's popped up in the infield as Vanelli comes over, hangs up there a long time for the first out. So we haven't seen many balls hit all that hard here through the first 3+. And that one, another easy pop-up in the infield. So Frank Core 0 for 2 in the game. And it brings up Yaron. He struck out his first time. First pitch to him is just up in the zone for ball 1. Zeros all the way around on the scoreboard, just one hit on each side. As that one is in there on the inner half for a strike. No runs for both teams through the first 3 innings. As we play here in the 4th, nobody on and 1 down. Pitch from Creedon is hit foul. Four strikeouts for Creedon to this point. 1-2 pitch is fouled off and out of play. He's already struck out Yaron once here in the game. Looking to strike him out again. One-two pitch and just off the plate, pretty close. Two pitch and a fly ball down the left field line as Andrews is charging and he puts it away. What a nice play from Andrews, ranging all the way back into left field to put it away. So we've seen defense being played on both sides exceptionally here in the first couple innings, and that's the kind of defense you expect to be seen here in the Super 8 finals. Both teams playing excellent defense to this point. And Creedon has been the beneficiary of a few nice plays by this Braintree defense. 2 outs in the inning and an off-speed pitch just off the plate for ball 1. Yish, the cleanup hitter, grounded out to first base on a hard hit ball to Vanelli to end the first. This one hit well down the left field line, heading back towards the wall, and it is gone. A 2-out homer just clearing the fence in left field. So the home run here with 2 outs. First pitch is in there for a strike. And a ground ball back to third. It's going to be a tough play for DiMartino on the run, and the throw's not in time. So McGinnis reaching. So back-to-back hits here. The home run and now the single. If there's been one good thing that's come out of this inning, it was only a solo home run. The 2-run homers really killed Braintree last game. This is a team that can hit home runs, but if you can keep them to solo homers, that'll certainly help out the cause. McGinnis leading at first and a quick check. Ground ball to third, DiMartino, this time in his tracks, a throw across in time to end the inning. So a 2-out homer, a solo homer for the Eagles gets them on the board, and they take the 1-0 lead here in the fourth. But Braintree able to minimize the damage, put the ground out there to DiMartino, leave a runner on. So we head to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0. Bottom of the fourth inning, Braintree trailing 1-0. They'll have 3, 4, and 5 in the order, and the first pitch to Kennedy is outside for ball 1. Kennedy, Casey, and Baker expected here in the inning for Braintree as they look to try and tie it in the inning. Down low, it's 2-0. The Braintree's had now 3 base runners in the game, 2 walks, and a single. 3-0. Murphy has struggled since coming out of the pen. He was benefited by a double play ball that was hit into by Files that got him out of the last inning. And the pitch is in there for a strike. 3-1. Kennedy obviously taking all the way there. And the 3-1 pitch is fouled off. Three and 2 the count. And the pitch is a swing and a miss. He got him. Third strikeout for Eagles pitching. And it brings up now Casey. He struck out his first at bat. First pitch is upstairs. And he hits this one well out to center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Second hit of the game for Braintree and the second single. Good piece of hitting there from Casey, taking it back up the middle on a rope. And it now brings up Baker. So Braintree down by a run, having tying run at first, and Baker takes a pitch right there on the corner for a strike. Only score of this game, a solo homer back in the top half of the fourth. That was by Yish. A 1 pitch is down low. Braintree's had a runner in 2, actually now 3 of the 4 innings. This one hit down the right field line, but foul. That one hit well. One-two pitch, and Baker chased a bad pitch out of the zone, and he's out. Two outs now here in the fourth, as Casey leads at first, and the pitch to Vanelli is outside. On the outside corner, 1-1. That's a balk there on the mound. He didn't throw over. So that results in a free base. So Murphy wanted to throw it over, didn't, and that results in the balk. And that's a big call here because that puts a runner in scoring position with 2 down. A single could score Casey. Finelli looking to shoot one out into the outfield. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. So Vanelli, who reached his first time on a walk, he's down the count 1-2, looking to try and tie the game with a base hit. Pitch is fouled off. Able to spoil off a pitch down low. Again, the 1-2 pitch and a ground ball towards short. And the throw across is in time to end the inning. So Braintree leaves the tying run at second as we head to the fifth, 1-0 St. John's Prep. Top of the fifth inning. And the first pitch to Salima is fouled off the screen. So 7, 8, and 9 here in the order. One nothing lead for St. John's Prep as they bat here in the fifth. And he's ahead 0-2 now is Creedon. (0-2) to Salima. Pitches that one inside. Four strikeouts to this point for Creedon, looking to retire the ever-dangerous Salima. And a ground ball towards second as Fripp down to a knee and the throw across in time. So Braintree has pitched away from Salima, and he's both times tried to pull it and resulted in hitting it on the ground. Brings up the DH, Laravier. Nobody on, one down here in the top of the fifth. Braintree trailing by a run. As Creedon looks to post a zero, as that one is dived. Oh, what a play by DiMartino, the throw across. Oh, what a play! What a tremendous play by DiMartino. That one, the highlight, probably the Super 8 for Braintree defensively. What a play. That saved at least 2 bases down the line. And if Braintree's able to come back and tie it in the bottom half of this fifth, you can certainly thank DiMartino, because that was an exceptional play. Two down in the inning now, and a ground ball up the middle. Fripp looking for the throw, and it's not going to be in time. A nice ranging play from Fripp, but the throw was off the mark. So an infield single for Spada as Braintree nearly came up with another tremendous play defensively. Back to the top of the order now for the third time. As Aaron steps in, he's 1 for 2. He's singled and flied out to left. Creedon looking to post a zero here on the scoreboard as he throws something down in the dirt and is blocked by Baker. 1-0 the count as Spada leads at first. 2 down here in the inning. Fourth hit of the game and a quick check at first, and he's back safe. This has been a spot that St. John's has liked to run in as that pitch is in there for a strike. They've stayed aggressive during this postseason run, trying to get runners in scoring position right now. Spada would not be in scoring position. 1-1 pitch and a fly ball out to right. Should be playable for Files. First step was back, and now he's in to put it away with a can of corn. So a runner left on at first, but a huge defensive play by DiMartino as he heads into the dugout. A great play at third base that saved at least 2 bases. And Braintree able to put up a zero on the scoreboard. So we'll head to the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 St. John's. Bottom of the fifth inning, and DiMartino, who had made an excellent play last half inning, gets to bat to begin things here in the fifth. Struck out in his first at bat. There'll be 7, 8, 9 in the Braintree order. The Lumps trailing by a run. As the pitch to DiMartino is down low. The only run in this game, a solo home run, back in the top half of the fourth. 4 hits for St. John's, 2 for Braintree, as DiMartino slices this one off the screen. Braintree will get their last at bat in this one, being the home team. 1-2 pitch on the way to DiMartino, who flares this one off to right field. That one's going to reach the stands. So DiMartino, who made a great defensive play last half inning, trying to do something here with the bat. Creedon has pitched very well through the first 5 innings, just allowing the 1 run. as DiMartino hits another one out of play foul. One-two pitch and a ground ball too short on a tough hop. Throw across in time. So the third pitcher of the game is now Nye is in, retires DiMartino to begin things here in the fifth inning. And Creed now will bat. Hit one well to right field in his first plate appearance, trying to help himself out on the mound. First pitch to him is at the knees for a strike. Another off-speed pitch, and that one is on the corner as well. It's 0-2. Braintree just a swing away from tying this one up. 0-2 pitch, and that one is foul tipped and held on to for strike three, as Creedon is down on 3 pitches. Brings up Andrews, who walked on 4 pitches his first time. Bats for a second time here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch to him is down low, and he hasn't seen a strike yet. Andrews trying to remain patient at the plate. And this one is hit well down the right field line, but foul. Braintree has really worn away at that right field line, but they haven't been able to keep it straight, and it's been heading into the stands. One on the count, nobody on and 2 down here in the fifth, and the pitch to Andrews is there on the corner for a strike. One-two pitch as Nye delivers, and that one back up the middle into center field for the base hit. So Andrews on base for the second time from the number 9 spot in the order on a solid base hit right up the middle. That one nearly took Nye's head off on the way back. Nye went down awkwardly as he fell down, almost twisted his ankle. So back to the top of the order, and this is McDonald, who has homered now 3 times here in the Super 8, and he's homered 4 out of the last 6 games. So he has the power to take it out of the yard, and a swing here would put Braintree ahead. Pitches down low for ball 1. Nye did serve up that home run that McDonald hit in that game at St. John's Prep, and that was late in the game. I believe it was in the 8th inning. So Andrews leading. He walked, or actually he singled with 2 outs here in the inning, and it's 2-0 to McDonald, and he's got a good count. I wonder if they're going to walk him here, as head coach Dan Letarte will come out and talk to a starter. He knows the damage that can be done from McDonald with the bat. Had a game earlier this postseason where he was on base 4 times. That was against the Varian. So 2-0 the count, and you have to wonder what will be coming here to McDonald coming out of the meeting. Tying run on base at first. Anything in the gap would give Andrews potentially a chance to score. McDonald looking to try and come up with a big hit here with 2 outs. 2-0 pitch, and it's hit well up the middle, base hit. Andrews will tag second, and he'll stay there. So back-to-back hits for Braintree now with 2 down in the inning. So after Nye looked like he was going to have a very easy inning, it's been back-to-back hits from Andrews and now McDonald. Tying run at second base, go-ahead run at first as File steps in. 0 for 2 in this point here in the game. Braintree now with 4 hits in the game. And that one hit well to right field, and it's going to hang up there long enough to be caught. That one was hit right on the screws by Files, and just bad luck there for Files as he was retired. That one was heading into the gap, but it was right there for the right fielder. So Braintree doesn't score, leaving 2 on here in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th. Still 1-0 St. John's Prep. Top of the 6th inning, 2, 3, and 4 in the order for the Eagles. As Creedon's back out there for his 6th inning of work, and the first pitch to Francoeur is a strike. Francoeur, Yaron, and Yish. Both teams with 4 hits, but 1 run for St. John's. That was on the homer. Swing and a miss, and a good off-speed pitch. Francoeur has struck out and popped out to first. 0-2 the pitch, and it's up in the zone for ball 1. Just the one blemish in the game for Creedon was the homer, as he throws a pitch, and it's just hit foul off the end of the bat. Braintree, again, as it did last game, has had plenty of base runners. They've had 4 hits. They've had 2 runners on by walks, and this one hit hard to short, and that'll get through for a base hit. And that brings up Yaron, and we'll see how aggressive St. John's will be. They're up 1-0. Haven't had a ton of hits off of Creedon. And what's been a low-scoring game. See if they're going to try and sacrifice here with nobody out in the 6th inning. Yaron 0 for 2 to this point. He is squaring, and he drops it down foul. So Yaron was trying a drag bunt there as he was trying to take it down the first base line. DiMartino a few steps in on the grass at third, expecting a bunt again. This time he's swinging away, hits it down the right field line, but it's foul. And now Creedon ahead 0-2 as DiMartino can go back to his normal spot at third. Very risky for St. John's to try and bunt with 2 strikes. Manelli holding on the runner at first. Creedon would do well for a strikeout. And it's even better as an easy pop-up at short. For the out for Andrews, the infield fly is on. And the first out is made. Another weak hit ball, this time to short. Third time now he's got Yaron, and now Yish steps in. He's had the one big hit of the game. Close play at first, and he was just back safe. So Yish grounded out to first and homered. The only run of the game to this point. First pitch to him is on the corner for strike 1. Braintree looking to get out of this inning. Trying to get the bats back out there. And another quick throw over to first, and he's back safe. Creedon throws over very often during the course of the game, and it's really worked out all season long where he's picked off runners. So it's been effective for him, and he's going to continue to do it. Right there at the knees, but not called a strike. Pretty good spot. Pretty big call as well. It would have been 0-2. Instead, it's 1-1. Curveball down in the dirt. Nice stop by Baker. Keeps it right there and keeps the runner at first. Manelli holding on the runner at first. And the pitch now to Yish is a ground ball. Hit to short. Andrews is going to have to go to second, and the throw is there just in time to get the out. So the fielder's choice resulting in the second out here in the 6th. That one wouldn't have been a double play regardless, so it was probably the smart play from Andrews. Would have been a long throw across to first, and he was able just to get the runner at second base on the force. First pitch and a pop-up and the infield. This should end the inning. Fripp over, and he puts it away to end the inning. So a runner left on, and Creedon puts a 0 up on the board as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-0 St. John's Prep. First pitch of the bottom of the 6th is down low to Kennedy for ball 1. So Braintree with the middle of the order due up here in the inning. Down by a run. And the 1-0 pitch to Kennedy is a hard hit ball to first. It's bobbled, but Salima will win the race to the bag for the first out. Braintree has had some misfortune here in the game. They've hit the ball well a few times out in the outfield, but it hasn't been able to get down. So Kennedy retired for the third time. Casey takes a pitch in there for a strike. Casey has struck out looking and singled sharply up the middle. 0-1 is well outside for ball one. Braintree looking for a base runner here with one out. They've had a base runner in now 4 of the 5 innings. Outside, 2-1. So this is the second inning of work for Nye, who has allowed 3 hits since coming on, but he's been lucky to elude allowing any runs. This might be his last inning of work if it holds true to the theory. As that one's on the corner for strike 2. Casey didn't go around, but it doesn't matter. It was a called strike anyway. 2-2 pitch, and it's an inside. It froze Casey. He was almost down for the second time, looking. Full count, trying to get on base any way he can. Braintree's already got on base twice by a walk. 3-2 the count to Casey, and not even close for ball 4. So the second time Casey has reached base here in the game, this time a free pass. And it brings up Baker, who hasn't hit the ball out in the outfield yet here today, but he has that kind of power. He's popped up to second base and struck out. Casey at first base with one out here in the 6th, Braintree trailing by a run. They've had the tying run at second a couple times in the game. Haven't had a runner at third yet. See if Braintree tries to get a little aggressive here, maybe hit and run. First pitch to Baker is fouled off and out of play. Oh, and 1 the count to Baker as Casey leads at first, and the pitch is up in the zone. Baker looking for one of his patented hits into the outfield. A ton of room down the left field line if he pulls it. And this one's out of the zone as well. If you look at the alignment out in the outfield, the left fielder is very deep and almost more towards center field. Ton of room down that 320 marker. If anything is hit down that way, at least 2 bases, maybe even longer for the Braintree DH. As that one is hit to third. It could be 2. The throw across, it took him off the bag. He is, oh my goodness. He was certainly safe at first base. I don't know how that was called a double play. The runner was there as the foot came off the bag. It wasn't held. Not sure what the umpire was looking at there. That was clearly safe as his foot came off the bag, as Braintree again is running into a double play to end the inning. We'll head to the 7th here at Campanelli Stadium on a very tough call, a 1-0 score for St. John's. Top of the 7th inning here at Campanelli Stadium, Braintree trailing by a run. First pitch is a well-hit ball to center, but this one's going to stay in the yard. McDonald well back there, but he'll put it away. 4-0-3 out to center, so the wrong part that he hit that one to would have been out to left or right, but the wrong side of the park to hit it to. Diorio now 0-for-3 in the game. And it brings up Salima. First pitch to him is fouled back off the screen. Salima 0-for-2, he flied out to center and grounded out to second. And this one hit well to right field. Files going to spin back and jump, and it's off the wall. As Fripp comes out, Files will grab it, and Salima was thinking about 3. It's going to be a close play, and he will be out! He is out of there! What a boneheaded play by Salima again, as this time he was trying to take 3 bags, and that one really just a poor running play on the base pass. Really no reason to take that extra base there. He's already in scoring position with 1 out, and Files able to gun him down from right field. That one just a poor base running play, but a great throw from Files. So a big change in the complexion of the inning. It would have been a runner at second and 1 out. Instead, it's nobody on and 2 down, and Braintree just an out away from heading to the bottom of the 7th, down just a run. A pop-up down the left field line, Kennedy heading back. He has room as he is back, and it is, did he catch it? No, he didn't. It is gone. It looked like Kennedy almost reached over and grabbed it. Instead, it's gone, and another solo homer. So the second solo homer of the game would have been a 2-run homer if Salima was on, but Salima was retired, and that one just carried out of here. It didn't look to be all that dangerous based off the way it came off the bat. It just kept carrying, and only 320 down the left field line, down the short porch as Kennedy tried to jump over and grab it. Ground ball, too short. Andrews back, and the throw across in time to end the inning. So Braintree does give up another run on a long fly, but it could have been worse. It would have been a 2-run homer if it wasn't for the throw from Files out in right field. It's 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning, another new pitcher on. It's Webb, third pitcher, or fourth pitcher of the game, rather. As Webb pitches here in the 7th, the first pitch to Vanelli is a ball. And it's 2-0. 6, 7, and 8 in the order for Braintree. And they certainly want a runner on to begin the inning. Vanelli will definitely take a walk. He's been on base once so far. And it's 3-0. So Braintree would certainly love to have a leadoff walk to begin this inning, as DiMartino awaits a chance on deck. 3-0 pitch, and it's on the corner for a strike. Braintree taking all the way. And you wonder if Vanelli will be taking again here on the 3-1 count. Braintree trailing by 2 runs. It won't happen with 1 swing of the bat. So let's see what happens here to Vanelli. He hammers this one out to center and into the dive. Did he catch it? No, he didn't. So a leadoff single to begin things here in the inning. So now there is a discussion. That's clearly a single. The play has to be made to the ground. It doesn't matter if the ground knocks it out. It has to be made throughout the process to the ground. And this is a huge call in the game. If this is called a out, this would be a huge call against Braintree in the game. This should be a base hit for Vanelli. And he's safe. And the right call is made here at Campanelli Stadium, the right thing to do. Coach O'Connell comes out, gets the crew together, and that's what they should do in a big game like this. You have to make the right call, and they get the crew together, the crew talks about it, and the home plate umpire is the crew chief, so he makes the ultimate decision. And in this game, you'd like to see the right call, and I think in that situation it is. The catch was made for a moment, but when the body hit the ground, he dropped it, and that is the definition of a base hit. You have to complete the play. It's just like in football, you have to complete a football move before the ball is dropped. So a very similar situation here in baseball. For the average viewer, they don't know that's specific to the rule, but that is a huge, huge call in the game. Braintree down by 2 runs. The leadoff runner is on with the single, and now Braintree will go into the dugout with the pinch runner. So Adams will run here for Vanelli. And this is what Braintree desperately needed, a leadoff hit, and now some speed on the bases. And let's see if Braintree can capitalize and try to chip into this lead. Again, 2 big plays in this game. Now that adds a third, so that one goes for Braintree, but the play by DiMartino also A great play at third, and then the throw from Files cutting down the runner at third in what would have been a 2-run homer. Instead, it was just a solo homer, so Braintree trailing just 2-0 instead of 3. A lot of swings in this one, and Braintree just a swing away now as that one's down low for ball 1. So DiMartino looked to be squaring on the first pitch. It was ball 1 anyway. Braintree hasn't been able to get a run to this point here in the game. They have 5 hits. DiMartino is squaring and takes it back for a strike. So Braintree trying to get a runner to scoring position if possible. It would also be aided with the pass ball if they can seem to find one past Aaron, who has been pretty good here in the last couple games. DiMartino stabbing at it and misses it for strike 2. So now you probably would take the bunt sign off for DiMartino. The last thing you want in this situation is a double play. Adams leads at first, 1-2 the count, nobody out here in the 7th as Webb deals to DiMartino, and he swung on, missed, strike 3. First out here in the 7th, and it brings up Creedon. Creedon has gone the first 7, allowing 7 hits and 2 runs. And the 2 runs coming on 2 solo shots. Creedon, another chance to help himself out on the mound. 0 for 2 in the game, and the first pitch to him is on the corner for a strike. He really had a hot bat last Super 8. It hasn't been the hitting attack that Braintree has won in the last couple games. Overall, the team has struggled as that one is outside for a ball. But a big fly here for Creedon. Could not the score. Braintree has a runner on at first. 1 out here in the 7th. And a ball is away again. Anders is on deck. He's reached twice on a single and a walk. If anybody reaches, also McDonald would get a chance at the top of the order, and that would be a huge situation for this Braintree team. 2-1, and this one fisted foul and into the stands. Two and 2 the count to Creedon. As Adams leads at first, let's see if the runner is sent. He is going. Hands a curveball to third. It's a high hop. It's going to be a tough play. He bobbled it. So, sending the runner gets Creedon at first base. And he took his eye off the ball at third. That was a big mistake in the field, which finally gives Braintree a chance. The defense has been so good for St. John's the last couple games, and they've really taken away a lot of big plays from the Braintree hitting attack, and it now brings up Andrews. 2 runners on, the tying run now at first. As the infield comes in. Pitch to Andrews is outside for ball 1. Braintree looking for a big hit here from Andrews as Adams leads at second. And the pitch is there for a strike. Coach O'Connell relaying the signs over to second base, all the way around to the batter and at first. The 1-1 pitch, and it's there at the knees for strike 2. So Andrews down on the count now. He's been on base twice with a walk and a single, looking for one more hit as McDonald waits on deck. Breaking ball, it's hit right off the mound, and that's going to let everybody reach. Everybody will reach. Third time Andrews has been on base, and this is the situation Braintree was looking for. Bases loaded for Eric McDonald, probably the best hitter right now at this point in the season. This is Braintree's biggest spot of the game. It's going to be bases loaded, 1 out, a chance to tie it or take the lead. Let's see what they do here. It's going to be at least a discussion here on the mound with the entire infield, if not just the pitcher and catcher. So everybody's going to come and talk with Coach O'Connell. You have to also be aware on the base paths, Braintree was able to pick off a runner at third base. You certainly want to stay in your spot on the bases. You do not want to be picked off in a situation like this. And I think that's what Coach O'Connell's talking about. So if you are ever in a situation where you want an RBI opportunity, this is probably one of your best chances. One of the better hitters here in this Super 8. It'll be McDonald getting a chance. He's already 2 for 3 here in the game. And he has the power to take it out of the yard. Let's see what he can do. Webb's already allowed. Now 3 hits in the inning. Sacks are packed with 1 out. And the pitch is on the corner for a strike. Andrews at first, Creedon at second, and Adams, who's pinch running at third for Vanelli. Just 1 out here in the inning. And the 0-1 pitch to McDonald. It's an off-speed pitch, hammered out to right, and that one is going to be caught as Adams tags. He'll come home, and he will score to make it 2-1. So the sacrifice fly as McDonald hammers one out to the outfield, and that was absolutely crushed, but again, it hangs up long enough. So Braintree getting a run back, now trailing by a run, as Creedon in scoring position at second, and Andrews at first. It's Files with a big opportunity. He's 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of the game. Braintree just probably a hit away from tying it. First pitch to him is upstairs. And again, as well as the St. John's Prep bullpen has been, they haven't been in this kind of a spot with the game on the line. Braintree having the last opportunity in the game, and this is a big pressure spot. In there for a strike, it's 1-1. Two on, 2 down here in the 7th. Braintree has gotten within 1. It's 2-1. And the 1-1 pitch is an off-speed pitch, and it's away. It was an off-speed pitch that McDonald rarely hit well into the outfield. Files didn't swing that time. A ton of room again down that left field line. 320 down the left field line. Let's see if Files can find one in the gap. 2-1 pitch, and it's upstairs, 3-1. Pressure situation for Webb here on the mound. This is his first inning of work, and he's already allowed a run. Still not out of the inning. 2 runners on and a 3-1 count to Files. Files hits this one to right field. That's going to be a tough play for Salima as he spins around, and he puts it away to end the inning. Files leaves 2 on here in the 7th, but Braintree does get a run to get a little bit closer. They left a good opportunity there on the board, but they do get a run to get within 1. It's 2-1 as we head to the 8th. Top of the 8th inning here at Campanelli Stadium, and the first pitch to Aaron is in there for a strike. So Braintree able to get a run back in the 7th to get within 1. They did leave 2 on. 1 and 1 to Aaron, 1, 2, and 3 in the order. So the tying run was left at second base last inning. But Braintree is the home team in this one, so they will get 2 more plate appearances. And man, would this have the thrill for the dramatic if it came down to the bottom of the 9th with Braintree with an opportunity. 2 and 1 the count. Just inside, and Aaron takes it. But right now, Creedon has to settle in and try and get 3 outs. 3-1 pitch, and it's outside for ball 4. And a leadoff walk to begin things here in the 8th, and a good start for the Eagles, but Braintree's going to have to bear down. This is probably going to be a bunting situation with St. John's Prep up by a run. Nobody out here in the 8th. He's not squaring, and he swings and misses. Hit towards right field. Files coming in, and he slides into the grab, and he can't grab it. The throw to second, and he's out. Oh, what a play! He is out at second. The second assist from Files in the outfield, and that is another huge play in the game. Another play you mark down here in the scorebook. That could have changed the complexion again. Instead of 2 on and nobody out, it's just 1 on and 1 down. Another assist from Files in the outfield, then a check on over at first, and he was back safe. So Frank Core, who hit that one to right for a single, allows now Aaron to strike at second, where he was out just barely. And that was a forced play. That was the difference. He didn't have to be tagged. It was a forced at second. So Yaron steps in. He's 0 for 3. 0-1 the count. Momentum has shifted so often here in this game. One and one as Vanelli holds on Frank Core at first. And that one fouled off, and it's 1 and 2. Braintree sending some action down towards the pen just to at least warm. They haven't had any action yet to this point. I believe that would be Del Vecchio heading down that way. Creedon's gone the first 7 and the third, allowing 7 hits and 2 runs. 1-2 is up in the zone. It's 2 and 2. Creedon hasn't had a strikeout since the first time through the order. Has 4 Ks in the game, and this would be a good spot on a 2-2 count. And the pitch is inside. The runner goes. The throw is not going to be in time, and he is safe at second base. It's backed up well by Fripp, which keeps the ball out of the outfield. But it's important that the runner was able to steal a bag. He's now in scoring position with 1 out. And now a full count. This is a spot. Creedon needs to bear down and fire a strike. 3 and 2 the count, 1 down. Here in the top of the 8th, Braintree down by a run. And that one just fouled off. He just got a piece. Again, the 3-2. And the pitch just swung on a miss. He got him. Second time he's got Yaron here in the game, and Coach O'Connell coming out talking defense. It's Yesh. He homered earlier in the game. He's 1 for 4. Runner at second, and they're going to intentionally walk him here. Yesh has homered now twice against Braintree here in the game, or not here in the game, but here in the 2 games they've played. So not wanting Yesh to beat him again. So Yish did swing at 1, which was out of the zone. And there is the intentional walk now, as Yish, for whatever reason, decides to swing at a pitch that was not even close to the strike zone, even though he was intentionally walking. And now timeout will be here on the mound. Let's see if Braintree tries a trick play here. There's 2 on and 2 down here in the 8th. Two outs here in the inning, but Braintree needing 1 more from Creedon. We've seen Braintree try a pickoff play often here in the Super 8, and this would be a good spot for it, but it is a dangerous spot. If the ball does get away, a runner could come across. So 2 on now here in the 8th, 2 down. And the left fielder, McGinnis, who is 1 for 3, steps in. First pitch is an off-speed pitch right there at the knees. This is a huge spot in the game. Braintree trying to put up a 0 on the board. They're down by a run. 2 board here with 2 down. And another off-speed pitch right there at the knees. And he's now 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. Creedon looking for his 5th strikeout. Or rather his 6th strikeout. 0-2 the count, plenty of pitches to waste. And he's got him! What a pitch right there, and McGinnis swings at that one very awkwardly and throws his hands at the pitch and throws his bat in disgust as he swung awkwardly at that one and looked fooled on that. As Creedon able to get out of the jam, Braintree heading to the bottom of the 8th, down by a run, 2-1, and the Womps with the momentum now on their side. Bottom of the 8th inning, Braintree trailing 2-1. As Webb back in, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the Braintree order here in the 8th, facing Webb for the 2nd time. Kennedy 0 for 3. This would be a very good spot for him to come up with his first base hit. It's an off-speed pitch, and it's hammered down the left field line. That's a base hit. And there it is, the leadoff runner on, and it's Kennedy with a single to begin things here in the 8th. So Kennedy takes a good time to pick up his first hit, and Braintree has the tying run on base here with nobody out in the 8th. And now Casey coming up, the middle of the order for Braintree. First pitch to Casey, it is outside for ball 1. Braintree looking to get the tying run to second base with nobody out. Casey was squaring. Kennedy trying to get over to second. Casey again is squaring and takes it for a strike. That one on the outer half. So even with the bat of Casey, he's going to be asked here on the first 2 pitches to bunt. This another big spot in the game. Braintree was able to get out of the jam in the 8th as Creedon was able to strike out 2 in a row. Kennedy at first, nobody out, and Casey again squaring. He punted down to the bag, on to second for 1. He's back to first, and he's safe. But that one, not a good bunt, and Braintree's had trouble bunting here in this Super 8. That one right back to the mound again and nearly turned into a double play, which would have been a killer. And now you have to wonder if Coach O'Connell will bring in Whalen to run with 1 out. I would do it here. And that's exactly what he's going to do, as Whalen will run with 1 out. So Braintree either will try and get Whalen on the move, either on a hit and run or just a straight steal. But it's also a spot where if you're Braintree, you have the tying run at first. You don't want to run yourself into an out on the bases as well. But it's such an important facet of the game where stolen bases only need a single to potentially score a run instead of something in the gap. So the pitch to Baker is on the corner for a strike. Baker himself is 0 for 3, but he's due for a hit. He's popped up to second, struck out, and hit into a double play. Whalen leading at first, and the 0-1 pitch is away for a ball, and the throw down is not in time. Whalen not liking that slap tag. It will hit him right in the face. 1-1 the count, and the pitch to Baker is outside for ball 2. Benelli awaiting a chance on deck, and it's 2-1 to Baker. Whalen with the lead, and the pitch, it's hammered out to center, but it's going to stay in the yard. It's heading back, but it'll be caught out there in center again. Baker going to the hardest part of the yard to hit it out of, and is retired for the second out here of the 8th. So Vanelli now comes up with 2 outs. Here in the 8th, Braintree had the leadoff runner on. Casey couldn't get down the bunt to sacrifice the runner to second. And the runner's still at first with 2 outs now. And now you have to wonder if Whalen will get a chance to run. He's running on the first pitch. It's a ball. The throw is not going to be in time, and he stole the bag. He's still safe at second. He came off for a moment. And Whalen, after stealing the bag very easily, nearly carried his momentum off of the bag and was tagged out. But he was just able to keep a bat, or a piece of the bag. And now a base hit for Vanelli could tie the game at 2. Whalen, who is very speedy on the base pass, just showed it right there with the stolen base. It's 1-0 to Vanelli. And the pitch, it's fouled off and out of play. Vanelli's been on base twice. He's walked and singled. He's also grounded out too short. Big spot in the game for Braintree, trying to tie the game at 2. Whalen leading off at second as Webb is looking to pitch. And it's hammered out there into the gap. That's going to tie the game. We're all tied at 2. Oh, Vanelli coming up with the big time hit. We're tied at 2. Tie game at 2 as Vanelli absolutely hammers that one out in the gap. And finally, Braintree able to come through in the clutch. It took long enough for Braintree here in this one to finally come through in the clutch, and that was an absolute missile out to left center. Braintree now with their 9th hit, and that's going to be a pitching change here at Campanelli Stadium. And as I was saying before, you have to wonder, with this kind of strategy, when is it going to finally come back to haunt St. John's Prep? And it comes here today in the finals, as Braintree's now struck for 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th, as we head to the final frame here at Braintree High School. Still 2 outs, the Womps and St. John's Prep here at Campanelli Stadium in the finals of the Super 8. A pitching change as Braintree has the go-ahead run at second base. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 8th continues. Braintree's now tied it, and the first pitch to DiMartino is in there for a strike. So this strategy for St. John's Prep has resulted in them using their 3 best pitchers, and now they're down into their 5th pitcher of the game. As Basone will pitch. DiMartino takes a pitch outside. So Webb has given up both of the runs that Braintree has scored, and he's still not out of the book yet. He could get a loss here in the game if Braintree scores one more time here in the inning. The pitch is down low, and it's 2-1. So Vanelli at second base, trying to score on a hit potentially from DiMartino. Braintree's already used a pinch runner in the inning, and Whalen came around to score after stealing second. Momentum all on Braintree's side, looking for the go-ahead run here in the 8th. The pitch to DiMartino is away. It's 3-1. So you have to wonder if DiMartino will take here on the 3-1 count. I believe he will, with Creedon waiting on deck. DiMartino has yet to get a hit. He struck out twice. It's 3-1. And the pitch, it's fouled off and down the right field line. So DiMartino getting the green light. You gotta like that swing from DiMartino. He struggled here in the game, but he knows right here a hit would atone for everything. He has played superb defensively here in this game. Creedon awaiting a chance on deck, but right now the big spot is with DiMartino. 3-2 the count. The runner will be off as second. A base hit here could potentially score Vanelli from second base. The crowd getting into it. 3-2 the count here in the 8th. Braintree and St. John's tied at 2. And the pitch. Oh, he chased the pitch out of the zone, and he struck him out. You really got to give the credit there to Basone, who came in on a 3-2 count. Nobody's expecting a breaking ball, and nor was DiMartino. He struck out for the 3rd time as Braintree leaves the go-ahead run at second base, but a huge, huge hit from Vanelli here in the inning as Braintree ties the score at 2 as we head to the 9th. It'll be Creedon back out on the mound. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th inning here at Campanelli Stadium. Braintree has now tied it at 2. Creedon back out there, and the first pitch is a strike. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. as DiOrio 0 for 3. Braintree with the momentum on the side, looking for a clean inning from Creedon to get the bats out there. And Braintree could potentially walk off if they can have a clean inning here in the 9th. 0-1 pitch, it's right in there for a strike. Nasty pitch. Really a nasty pitch from Creedon. And that was pretty much what we saw to DiMartino, who struck out to end the 8th. It was a nasty breaking ball. Ground ball, and that's through into right field for a base hit. So an 0-2 pitch that caught the plate, and DiOrio able to smack it down into right field. Runner leading at first as Vanelli holding him on. I would not be surprised if Creedon threw over in this situation. Salimo sends down the bunt. The play is to second. The throw is there, and he is safe. That was a bang-bang play at second base, and Braintree trying to cut the runner down at second. And now the infield will have to come in as 2 runners are now on, and a bunt would put the 2 runners at second and third. Brings up Lariviere, who's homered already in the game. That one a huge play as Vanelli comes in at first, as well as DiMartino at third. They're expecting a bunt. The bunt is laid down, but it's foul. So 2 hits to begin the 9th inning. A clean single to right and then a bunt single. DiMartino in at third, Vanelli in at first as Creedon tries. A pickoff play is to second base. Creedon stepping off. 0-1 the count. Braintree trying to get themselves out of a huge jam here in the 9th. And a ground ball is foul of third. And now, let's see if the bunt play is taken off. 2 strikes. Creedon trying to help himself out on the mound. This would be a huge spot for a strikeout. 0-2. 2 aboard, nobody out. And the pitch, oh, he got him! What a pitch! What a pitch for Creedon as he strikes him out. 7th strikeout of the game for Creedon, and it couldn't have come at a better spot. Now it brings up Spada. He is 1 for 3 here in the game. And the first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Creedon trying to work himself out of a big jam here in the 9th, trying to keep the score tied at 2. Braintree will have the bottom of the order, 8, 9, and 1 in the inning. Ground ball to a short. This could be 2. Over to second for 1. Back to first, and he is out! Oh, what a play! What a play for Braintree's defense yet again. As Spada grounds into the double play to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. An opportunity for Braintree to win the game here in walk-off fashion. What an unbelievable game here in the Super 8 final. We'll be back for the bottom of the 9th right after this. Bottom of the 9th inning. Braintree a chance to win it here in the 9th. 2-2 the score, and the first pitch to Creedon is foul. So the Womps able to get out of a first and second nobody out situation in the 9th. They got a strikeout and a double play. And now Creedon with the chance to start the inning here in the 9th. He has home run power. 0-1 the pitch, and he swung at a pitch that might have been out of the zone. It's 0-2. Braintree has Andrews on deck, who has reached base all 3 times, and McDonald up third in the inning. 0-2, and that one not even close. So Braintree wants to try and win this here because Creedon would very rarely come out for the 10th inning if this one went extras. He's already thrown 9 innings in this one. He's allowed 9 hits, but just 2 runs. Creedon looking to start things off here in the 9th with the base hit. 1-2, and he's fouled that one off. That one hit Aaron right off the hand. That one stung. So Creedon, who has pitched the distance, 9 innings for the Womps on the mound, trying to come up with a hit here with the bat. It would only be fitting for a hit here for Creedon. That pitch is away for ball 2. Fifth pitcher of the game for St. John's Prep. 2-2 pitch to Creedon, and he hammers this one out there to the gap, but it's going to be caught as it hangs up there in center. He gave that one a ride, but again to the deepest part of the field. A good at bat there for Creedon to begin things here in the 9th. Can't ask more for your ace. Gone 9 innings, giving you a chance to win, and had a chance there to come up with a hit. So Andrews steps in, he's 3 for 3. And he takes a pitch on the corner for a strike. On base all 3 times, it's 0-1. Nobody on and 1 down. And he foul tips that one, half-hearted swing. McDonald is waiting on deck. McDonald got Braintree within a run in the 7th on a sac fly. Braintree has the top of the order coming up. And Andrews hits this one out towards center field. This one is driving back towards the wall, and he caught it on the run. That was an absolute missile, and Andrews couldn't have hit that one any better.
Oh my God.
So about a 400-foot fly ball to center field that was tracked down. Andrews would have been at least 2 bags on that if he was able to get that one down against the wall. That one carried a lot farther than it looked. And McDonald now stepping in, and you have to wonder if they might try and walk him here. It is a good, I don't know what you're going to do in this situation. This is probably Braintree's best hitter, but you don't want to put the go-ahead run at first. So McDonald looking to give Braintree a 2-out base hit, if not win it with the homer. Here in the bottom of the 9th, 2 down, nobody on. And the pitch to McDonald, it's there on the outside corner, but a ball. 1-0 to McDonald, and it's 2-0. And now I wonder if they're going to just walk them. They're already ahead 2-0. They're going outside, and the 2-0 pitch, it's away, 3-0. 3-0 to the leadoff hitter for the Womps. He's at bat now for the 5th time in the game. He's been on base 2 of those 4 times. And it's a 4-pitch walk to McDonald here with 2 down. So the go-ahead run and the winning run at first base as Files comes up. Files has yet to come up with a hit in his 4 plate appearances, but a base hit here would be huge. And let's see if Braintree tries to send the runner with 2 down and try and steal a bag. Files has the power to take it into the gap, if not out of the park. He's already seen him hit 2 home runs in this Super 8. There are 2 outs here in the 9th. But Braintree has Files up at plate and Kennedy on deck. McDonald with a decent-sized lead at first. And the pitch. It's down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. And Files hammers it into the gap in right field. That'll get down. Here goes McDonald over to third. Here comes the throw. And the throw is backed up on Files' first hit of the game. So Files absolutely smashes that one to right field, and Braintree now a hit away from winning the game here in the 9th. Kennedy 1 for 4 with a chance to win it here in the 9th. Doesn't even need a single. It could be a pass ball. Braintree's already won a few walk-offs this season. Looking for another one here in the finals of the Super 8. Kennedy nearly gets hit, and it's ball 1. No reason if you're Files to try and steal a bag here. The winning run is at 3rd. Kennedy ahead in the count, 1-0. Kennedy got it all started back in the 8th, and now a chance to win. One and 0 the count, and the pitch to Kennedy is in there for a strike. Go ahead run just 90 feet away. Could score on a pass ball. It could score on a hit. A lot of things that could happen here in the 9th. Braintree looking to win it. Don't want to go to extras. 1-1 pitch to Kennedy, and it's a ground ball back to the middle. It's in center field, and the game is over. Braintree wins on a walk-off by Kennedy. Oh my goodness! It is back-to-back championships here in the Super 8 for the Womps. They repeat as Super 8 champions here at Campanelli Stadium. A single run in the 7th, 8th, and here in the 9th to beat St. John's Prep. An unbelievable game here at Campanelli Stadium. Unbelievable finish, and we'll have a post-game wrap-up right after this. I'm hoping I don't lose my voice here in this one, but unbelievable. We'll have a post-game show right after this. Hello, welcome back to Campanelli Stadium here with Joe Vanelli. And Joe, what a great win for you guys, but more importantly, you're at bat in the 8th inning.
Yep. Game-tying hit, 2 outs. Whalen was on first base, stole second. What were you seeing on that pitch, and how were you able to drive it out in the outfield?
I just saw it was a 3-1 count. He threw it to me outside, so I knew it was coming outside, and I knew he had to throw it down. And I saw Whalen stealing, and I just got a good piece of it and let it fly off the bat.
This wasn't probably the best game that you guys have played all season. I mean, it was error-free, but you guys had so many chances, finally able to cash in late. A run on the 7th, a run on the 8th, and then obviously the walk-off in the 9th. Just how motivational was this win for you guys? You guys knew that you guys had a chance all season long. Everybody was writing you off. Did that give you motivation?
Absolutely. When, B Hall and all them pick, and we saw that they don't pick us, it gives us motivation. And we know we've had our ups and downs all season, so to come back from all this and then come out with a state championship is unbelievable for them.
And now, where does this rank in your history of baseball at any level? I mean, you didn't get a chance really last year in the Super 8 run. How important was this in your significance of baseball at the high school level?
This is the greatest experience ever. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. It was this unbelievable feeling. Come out, be a part of a team, and just get out of the state championship is the greatest feeling.
Not only that, but you guys went to 3 straight Super 8s. You guys won 2 in a row. Just how important does that really feel, as not only as a Braintree player, but does that show other teams that, even though you're a public school, you guys can compete with these really good teams like BC High, obviously St. John's Prep and St. John Shrewsbury?
Yeah, exactly. Public school, we're 3 years in a row, and we're always proving ourselves. People count us out because we're public. We're not part of the big Catholic conference, but we can compete with anyone in the state when we have our full team ready, and we're one of the best teams in the state.
Joe, thanks for taking time to do an interview. Great game for you guys, and glad to see you guys win. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Campanelli Stadium here with Steve DiMartino. And Steve, probably the best play of the game here today, the diving stop at third base. What were you seeing, and how were you able to stab that one on the backhand?
Well, I knew he hit it hard down the line, and I had to time my dive right. And once I knew it was in the glove, I had to pop up as fast as I could and throw it. Once it was in the air, I knew it, and I started celebrating right away.
And the throw across obviously was in time, but how important was that? We talked about it prior to getting on camera, but I believe right after that diving play, they hit a home run, so it saved not only a run, but it saved 2 runs.
Yeah,
in that
double at least down the line. And it was good to save the runner from being on base.
And now you guys win back-to-back Super 8 titles. You weren't a part of the last one. You didn't get a chance to play too much, but how much does it feel? Obviously, you're playing behind Columbus. This year, you get your chance to prove yourself. Yeah. You did here today. How good did it feel?
There was a lot of talk last year about the seniors and how they carried, and to be honest with you, that was their team, and we were along for the ride, and we're very thankful for that. They showed us how to get it done, so we tried to do everything we could this year to get it done, and we did, so it's good.
And talk about Scott Creedon. I mean, he's your ace. Three complete games in this one. Knowing that you guys were down, I believe, 2-0 at one point, you guys were able to scratch back a few runs in the 7th and 8th before winning in the 9th. But how much momentum does that have on the bench, knowing that even though you're down 2 runs, you guys know that he's going to keep you in the game?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday at practice. We knew Scotty was going to be out there trying his best on the mound, and he's going to keep it to a close ball game, a couple-run ball game. We knew that if we could stay in the ball game throughout the bottom of the ninth, and if we could get to the bottom of the ninth tied, it was our ball game. Because, it happened, so.
And a walk-off win, no greater feeling to end your high school career. Any plans for you beyond high school to move on to the next level?
Playing some Legion ball, and then I'm playing some club golf at Coastal Carolina.
Well, that sounds like some good plans, but to end your high school career with the walk-off win, we've talked all season long. We've been good friends along the way. Just a great way for you to end it. Thanks for doing some time with us here, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Wassel back here with Alex Kennedy. The start of the game, walk-off hit, bottom of the ninth. You guys were down 2-0. Clawed for a run in the 7th and the 8th. And then you came up with a thrill for the dramatic. What were you seeing? First and third, 2 outs. What were you seeing?
The winning run was right there, and I just had to stay calm and just do what I've been doing. Get a hit.
Just a sophomore, we just talked about it, but knowing that this team has now won back-to-back titles, just what does that show? Growing up, you see this team just play. You've been friends with all these kids all the way along. Just what does it mean to be a part of this team?
It's crazy. It's the best feeling in the world to win a state championship.
What were you feeling on that pitch? It was a 3-1 count, I believe. You were ahead in the count, and you were able to drive it up the middle, your second straight hit. Just what were you thinking? What was your approach at the plate?
Hit it hard somewhere, and hopefully, it got through the infield and worked out for me. It did.
And you guys were able to beat St. John's Prep for the second time this postseason. They beat you guys once yesterday, or a couple games ago. But just what does this mean to beat them again, knowing that they're kind of a team that likes to talk a lot?
Yeah.
Does that give you more motivation, knowing that they're a team that's chirpy?
Yeah, it gets us all fired up to show them what we're actually made of. Coming back from 6-5 and coming to win the whole thing, it's crazy.
A lot of people wrote you guys off as no way you had a chance to make the Super 8. You guys not only made the Super 8, but you made it to the finals and then won the championship. Only one loss along the way. Just how great was this season?
It was crazy. Going from not even being ranked to coming back and doing it again, turned some heads. It was unreal.
Well, as a sophomore, you got probably your best hit of your career. Hopefully there'll be more to come for you guys. But thanks for taking time out here, Alex. Thanks for joining us here on BCAM TV. Welcome back to Campanelli Stadium here with head coach Bill O'Connell. Coach O'Connell, back-to-back titles for you guys, part of the Super 8. Again, you guys were 5-4, not even midway through the season. Everybody was writing you off. No way you had a chance to make the playoffs. We talked a lot during the season about where you guys would stand, and you talked about it just one game at a time, and that was the approach you took all the way. Yeah. And it was probably the same way throughout the playoffs, one game at a time.
Yeah, it was like we were in tournament mode in the 10th week of the season. We felt like we had to turn the ship around at 5-4. We were worried about just making the tournament. The guys said they still wanted a shot at the Super 8, which was great. And I said, well, you got to win the rest of them. And the only way to do that was go one at a time. And once we started winning, we went three in a row there. We started to feel good about ourselves again and started to get our swagger. And then, after like the 6th or 7th, we had a big game with Newton North, and that was kind of the one that kind of blew it open. Like, all right, we really believe we're back to where we hoped we'd be.
Yeah, that was probably the momentum shift in your season. You guys were down 2-1 heading into the 7th inning in that one. You guys had the walk-off win with the wild pitch. If you guys lost that game, probably the Super 8 was out of reach.
Right.
But then again, Newton North was able to sneak in as the 8th seed as well. So probably not a must-win game, but that probably was the turning point in your season.
Yeah, you know what? This year's group was just such a gritty. They were a totally different team than we had in the past. The team in the past was an offensive machine.
Right.
This was more a grind it out, just a win an inning. Just grind out games. That's all we were doing. We were winning a lot of close games. We were 7-3 in one-run games at the end of the day here, and that's a lot of pressure. But these guys loved it. They enjoyed it, and they saved their best game for last.
And talk about your pitching just all the way around. You guys were able to roll 3 pitches. Obviously, Creedon was your ace,
yeah.
But then you were able to get unbelievable performances from Gray and Riley along the way. Delvecchio coming out of the pen.
Right.
It seems like your pitching was probably your strongest suit this year versus the offense.
It was, and we had some depth, and we had some guys that didn't get as many innings as they like, and they're outstanding. They just when you have a great program and you start getting 2 or 3 guys that are hot, you just kind of ride those guys. And I can't say enough about Scott. Scott, he's got to go down as one of the all-time greatest high school baseball players in Massachusetts, which is remarkable to say that because there's a lot of great ones. But it's only been 3 years existence, but the kid's been to 3 straight championships and won 2 and 7-0 in Super 8. He ends his career 7-0 in Super 8 versus the best of the best.
Not only that, but he was the winning pitcher in the last 2 Super 8s, going the distance in both of those games. I mean, he gave you guys a chance. You're down 2-0, kept you in the game in the 9th inning. They got the first 2 on. He was able to settle down, get a strikeout, and get a double play to get out of that inning. And then you guys obviously walked off. But how much does that give you on the bench as far as a coaching perspective? You have so much confidence in him on the mound. Does that ever come into play that maybe like you needed to go into the bullpen in that 9th inning? I know you had somebody warming, but you wanted to maybe go to the bullpen, or were you just going to ride with Creedon?
We were keeping an eye on his pitch count. We felt like we were going to push it a little bit tonight, just considering the circumstances. And we felt like if we didn't score in the 9th, we were going to give him the 10th. And then after that, we were going to hand it over to the bullpen. So we felt like we still had 2 more innings with Scotty on the mound. And with him on the mound, we know the team's not going to score very much. With him on the mound, there's a comfort feeling that we're not going to give up a lot of runs. We knew we weren't going to shut them out. We were saying they're probably going to score 3 or 4 runs, and we've got to just score 1 more. So that was the deal tonight, and that's the way it's been deal his whole career. He hasn't given up many runs. He's a great pitcher.
And talk about limiting. I mean, there was two times in this game where they had potentially a big inning coming, and you guys were able to throw it. Salima trying to stretch a double into a triple, and then Files was able to cut down a runner at second base, and that ended up being a big play in the game because it would have been a 2-run homer versus the solo home run.
Right, and then we got out of that inning with that double play, that great pick, great turn by Jack to Fripp to Vanelli on a great scoop at first base that got us out of an inning as well. I mean, at the end of the day, they scored in 2 home runs. There wasn't a lot going on for them offensively. But again, it's a credit to Scotty.
And now talk about just the way that you guys beat St. John's Prep. Not only have you beaten them now, this will be the 2nd straight year you've beaten them. You've beat them for the 3rd time in like the last 4 times you've met them. Does that have any personal, vendetta between not only the coaches but maybe the teams in general?
No, tons of respect. Dan runs a great program at Prep. The personal vendetta is it's just the Catholic school. They're just great programs. They got kids from all across, the Commonwealth, the little mini all-star teams, and it's just an awesome challenge where you got just a bunch of guys from the same town, same community, just a town team, and you're battling against the North Shore's best athletes, and that's all the motivation we need. It doesn't matter if it's Prep or Severian or St. John Shrewsbury. It's just that challenge for public school kids, for some reason, gets them all fired up.
Just so many wins along the way that you guys could have looked at and just said, one game at a time. But you look back at the game against Severian where you guys were able to just really shut the door on that one. I think that was probably where everybody said, okay, listen, Braintree's for real. You guys beat them 11-3. That was just an unbelievable performance from you guys. But heading into this one, same thing as last year. You guys lost 20-4 before responding with a 7-2 win. But here today, a little bit much different game. It was a little bit low scoring, but that's kind of what you expected. You said you guys weren't going to score a lot, but you weren't going to give up a lot. Yeah. Did that play into it at all as far as your game plan goes?
No, the Severian game, we were on fire. We just all the balls are falling. We were hitting the ball hard. We had a great challenge with their pitcher Dakar, who's one of the best in the state. We rose to that occasion. Today was just a whole different beast. It was just they had a great staff. Guys were a little bit nervous. So early in the game, we were kind of out of our sync offensively, but we started to settle in. Once the game got to where we wanted it to be, it got to be a 1-run game instead of trying to score 4 or 5 runs. Now we're thinking we just got to score 1 run, which made things a little bit easier.
So what would you say the strategy that St. John's employed? They had the 2-2-2. They kept bringing a new pitcher on every time to kind of throw you guys off. Yeah. Would you say that it kind of threw maybe you guys off a little bit, but at the same time, at the end of the game, you guys were able to claw through against probably their 4th, 5th best, 6th best pitchers. They threw their 3 best in the early innings, and then you guys were able to score in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, I think that had something to do with it. I think I don't know necessarily the changing of pitches affected us much because they're all the same type of guy. Big, tall right-handers threw 82, 83 miles an hour with a good curveball. There wasn't a lot of deception there. The only thing we thought, and I don't know if it's true or not, but we felt like if we got to that 4th or 5th guy, maybe he wouldn't be as sharp, as strong. I could be totally wrong. They could have been saving their best guys for last. I don't really know, but that's what our goal was, to maybe get to the guys later in the game and hope for the best.
And now one last question. If you were to sum up the season in a couple words, how would you do it?
This is just it's a remarkable story because this is a totally different group than the last 2 years. To do it with a totally different group, it just shows the culture that we've created, the coaches, the players, everybody buying in year round to our program. Braintree baseball's always been a giant in Massachusetts, and I just feel like we've taken it to another level, and hopefully we can stay there.
Well, Coach, it was a great season. I was happy to be along all the way along the ride. Unbelievable to see you guys repeat as champions here for the Super 8.
Okay.
Welcome back to Campanelli Stadium. We're here with the star of the game, Scott Creedon. You were given the Super 8 MVP from Brennan Hall. You were the Super 8 MVP in my mind. 3 complete games in the Super 8. Just what did it feel like being on the mound for your second straight time in the Super 8?
All the confidence in the world, definitely. Last year obviously helped a huge amount. The team knowing, the guys I know on this team, I mean, they hit unbelievable today, unbelievable. Started off slow, had all the confidence in the world in them. I knew we'd do it,
You guys were able to claw away at this one. You guys got down 2-0. But talk about the big plays in the outfield. You had the nice play from DiMartino at third, probably one of the best plays you've seen all season. And then Files twice in the outfield, able to gun down a runner not only at third, but then a runner at second.
I mean, poor base running as well, definitely. I mean, give all the credit in the world to Files and Steve. Awesome play by Steve at third base. Mirrored Connor's play from last year and led to us coming back and winning and having a sophomore put us on his back and win the game for us.
Just talk about that. A sophomore in Kennedy, coming up with the biggest hit of his career to this point. Obviously, there's a lot more to come. You have 2 more years at this level, but it'll be a different team next year. But talk about it in your mind, knowing that you're the winning pitcher in this one, your team, back-to-back titles, pretty much a lot of the same players, but some different players at different positions, but you guys were able to get the job done. What was the difference between this year and last year?
It was a question mark coming in the year, too, who we had and what we had and how we were going to do. But obviously we showed that tonight that we can still compete with everyone else and proved everyone wrong that didn't like us in the beginning when we were 6-5, and we just kept our head up and kept playing.
Well, it's been a pleasure watching you during your career here at Braintree High School, Scott. I've enjoyed it a lot. You might go down as one of the best, if not the best, Braintree pitcher ever. So it was a pleasure to see you play all season long and to culminate with a Super 8 championship for 2 straight years. I wish you the best in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Campanelli Stadium here with Eric McDonald. And Eric, back-to-back titles for you guys. You've been a part of both, playing in center field. First time we've done an interview, I believe, in the 2 years, which is kind of hard to believe based on the talent that you guys have. You've hit a ton of home runs this season. Just what, in your mind, what was the turning point this season that kind of pushed you guys over the edge?
We got off to a tough start. I think we were 6-5 at one point, and we knew we had one day where I remember we took a day off of practice and we just hung out as a team. We said if we're going to do this, we're going to do it as a team, and it's going to take a group effort. And from that point on, we really clicked, and every game after that was a team effort, and we ran the table until it mattered, and now we got another ring.
13 straight wins for you guys before losing to St. John's Prep in the first game. You guys experienced it last year. Having been there and done that after losing 20-4 last year before winning in the Super 8 Game 2, did that have a little bit of an effect on this one, knowing that you guys have been there, done that?
Well, I mean, we've played all year with our backs against the wall, and that's just kind of been our mentality, do or die. And that first game, we, as much as we didn't want to say it, we knew we had a second chance, We just didn't really come out to play, and then we knew at that second game we had to come out to play. It was do or die, all or nothing. And, that was kind of what got us here, and that was leading us to victory.
Talk about Scott. I mean, he's probably going to go down as one of the best Braintree High School pitchers ever. I mean, you were a part of this team. You were along the ride with him. Just being there as a teammate, being there with him every day at practice. He puts in a ton of work. So do you. So do the rest of your teammates. But how much confidence does it feel knowing that he's on the mound, he might go the distance every game he pitches, and keep you in the game?
I wouldn't want anyone pitching a game besides Scott Creedon in a championship game. Plain and simple. No one else.
Not only did you guys win this one, it was a walk-off win. Just where does this one rank in your memory bank? Does this one beat last year?
Absolutely, because we were doubted all year. People said you guys lost a lot of firepower. You'll be lucky, Braintree will be a good state tournament team, Division I state. I remember reading on ESPN Boston saying Braintree, they're definitely out of the Super 8, but they could run the show in the state championship. So, I mean, we proved a lot of people wrong, so this was absolutely the best game of my life. Well, and on top of that, it was the last game of my life, so I couldn't end it on a better way.
If there was one person that didn't doubt you along the way, it was me. But you know what? This is the way I'm going to go. I always talked about it with a few of your teammates. I said, if you guys continue to play the way you're playing, at one point, like you said, you were 5-4. You won 13 straight games. The Newton North game, to me, was the turning point in your season. You guys walked off in that one, knocked off one of the better teams, and then obviously you beat Walpole and Marshfield to end the season, and then you guys just cruised along the way through the first 4 games, moving to the winner's bracket. And did it give you, I know you guys talked about it, but did this give you a little bit more confidence knowing that, you had a second game, but at the same time you didn't want that second game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just been our mentality all year, play as hard as we can. We're not going to win by talent, we're going to win by work. And like you said, that Newton North game was big for us. We clicked, and as you can see, this was a team victory. Everything we've done this year was as a team. You can't pick out one person to, get us here. Everyone's contributed. I mean, Alex Kennedy's a sophomore. He hits the walk-off base hit. I mean, we've had big hits up and down our entire lineup. It's huge for us. There's no one person you can give credit to.
It seems like every game this postseason has been a different hero. Here today, Creed and obviously Kennedy with the walk-off hit, but Baker had a huge postseason. Files at the beginning, yourself. I mean, just everybody here provided stuff, whether it was Anders at the bottom of the order getting on base 3 times, DiMartino with the great sliding play at third. I mean, everybody, as you mentioned, it was a team effort here today.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was Andrew's second 3-hit game in the tournament. For a kid that, he's a replacement at shortstop, he fills in when Creedy's pitching. I mean, it's stuff like that when kids can step up and, carry your team. That's huge for us because he flips the order around and we get right back to the top of the order. I mean, like I said, everything we've done as a team, and that's just how we're going to go down as the greatest team in Braintree High history.
Well, thanks, Eric, for joining us on camera. Heck of a season. Congratulations on your title.
Thank you very much. That's 2.
Mike Wassel back here at Campanelli Stadium, a 3-2 walk-off win for the Womps here today at Campanelli Stadium in the finals of the Super 8. Just an unbelievable performance from this Braintree team, a team that was doubted by a lot of people all season long, and it started as a number 6 seed in the Super 8 before winning 4 straight games to get to this point, before losing to St. John's in the first game of the Super 8 championship game, and then winning here by the final score 3-2. So a great season for this Braintree team, repeating as Super 8 champions. I want to thank everybody along the way. For Genevieve Bergoli, I'm Mike Wassel. I want to thank everybody that came on camera for us here today. A great season for Braintree High baseball, and we'll see you next season.